So this is not a garden tour, really, but we can look at a couple things. But this is the comfrey plant. It's a weed, and it's very beautiful, and it has all these lovely flowers on it. And I don't want it to go to seed, though, because I think I can only handle one in my garden because it's enormous. So I think what I'm going to do is cut the flowers and put them in a jar of water and just see how long they last. And then I'm going to take the leaves and I'll give some to the chickens because the chickens really like the leaves, and you can see they've been down here like eating them. And they haven't eaten, like these are the tomatoes, and they haven't eaten any of the tomatoes. So I'm going to mulch the tomatoes with the leaves, and then I'm also going to put a few leaves in the chicken coop for the chickens, and they're out here. Oop. They are doing a good job at avoiding the things that I want them to avoid. They mostly like weeds, which is kind of nice. So they just roam around here. They pretty much have free range of the garden. They can go wherever they want. And then we'll look at a couple other things. So let me put these in a jar and then mulch the tomatoes. So here's what it looks like all mulched up. And I noticed that the comfrey leaves and the stems particularly have these like spiky things, kind of like a squash. And they gave me a couple slivers, not too bad. I mean, they're not too difficult. If you're sensitive to squashes and stuff, you might want to wear gloves. But so what I did was I laid the stems around here, hoping that would kind of deter slugs. And then I turned the comfrey leaves over spiky side up, and they will keep that moisture in because we just got a ton of rain. So it'll keep the roots of those tomato plants nice and cool and damp, keep them from drying out, because this is the furthest bed from the hose actually. Another cool thing about this bed is there's like a ton of volunteers. Over here there was tomatoes in this bed last year, and we got too much rain last year, so a lot of the tomatoes cracked. So I never ended up taking them off the vine, but these are all baby tomatoes that came from seeds that came from those tomatoes that I just never ended up picking. And then there's another cluster right there where it's like there's got to be like at least 20 little tiny tomato plants right there, so that's kind of cool. And then here's our bouquet. Nope. So that's our comfrey bouquet. Isn't that lovely? Look at that. And I did leave the root and a few leaves, so maybe it'll come back and I'll be able to do it again. So I guess we'll find out. It's kind of just an experiment, but so far so good. Okay.